You know you need to be creating more social content, blog post, possibly even a video script and emails as well. But coming up with content can be frustrating at times, especially if the creativity isn't hitting you at the right moment. Well, it's not just coming up with ideas, it's putting that content in a way that actually connects with your target audience to increase engagement. So in this video, I am going to show you how to create content that converts using my favorite AI writing tool, Jasper. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joyce Lehman, and I work with coaches and consultants to help them attract and connect with their ideal clients online using simple social systems so they can get more leads and make a bigger impact without getting overwhelmed in the process. And of course, content is a part of that to establish your online presence and increase your visibility and expand your authority. But one of the biggest pushbacks that I get, and I don't know if it was you or if it's you, but I know it's definitely me. It's like, oh God, I have to write a blog post. I don't want to write a blog. I can put social media content out, but it was just getting overwhelmed with the amount of content that I had to create. So that's why when I learned about Jasper, and when they first started, the company was called Jarvis, and I was one of the early adopters. So sometimes you might hear me flip and actually say Jarvis instead of Jasper. Swear it's the same company, they just changed the name. But using this tool has made content creation so easy. Now, originally, I did this as a live training. We had a technical glitch, so some people got kicked off early, and the live actually went about an hour and 15 minutes. Well, instead of going that long, what I want to do is dive into the meat. I want to show you how Jasper works. I'm going to give you some content strategy tips as far as how to come up with great topics. Google can be your best friend ever, your calls to action, and then make this super, super, super easy for you. So with that, then, all right, I am going to be flipping back and forth. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm working on my laptop, just so you know, but I'm going to come over here to Jasper. Now, when you come in, you're going to get into your dashboard. And so, you know, I have a link that I'm actually going to give you 10,000 words for free to try it. Because why talk about something if you don't get to try it first? Now, one of the things that they do, just to give you a little bit of walkthrough. And like I said, as an early adopter, this wasn't all available. They've added so much in the process. So you can see we have everything from basic documents to Amazon products, blog posts. So they had separated the blog posts into pieces. You've got content improver, company bio, story, email subject lines. You know, that makes or breaks the potential of somebody opening your email. Engaging questions, which you can put out as polls on social. You've got ads, Google headline. You can see everything that's in here. It's amazing. So one of the things that they recently came up with is their one-shot blog post. So how you use this is you put in your blog topic. You want to be a little bit more specific. So say, for example, because I was coming up with some ideas before we got started, and I didn't just want to have topics specific to me. And actually, if you think about when you're working with clients and you're creating content, if everything you do is so niched on somebody who's ready to buy from you, then you're going to miss potentially engaging with people who are what we call unaware. So there's 4 stages of awareness. Actually, I've shortened them to 4. I think it's easier than the 5. But the first stage is people who are unaware. So these are individuals that you can write great general content for that still relates to what you do, but it's going to reach a broader audience versus you get super, super tailored. So as you're thinking about your blog post topics, there's going to be unaware, somebody that knows they have a problem, but they don't know that there's a solution yet. Somebody who's solution aware, it's like, yeah, I got a problem, and they start actively seeking solutions. And then you aware. When somebody's you aware, that means you've done a great job with consistently posting valuable content. So they see that you are the potential expert to help them solve their problem. So as I was going through and thinking about just some blog post ideas, then one of the things that I came up with, it's like time seems to be a big factor. And I can't tell you how often people say, I don't have enough time to get things done. So I'm going to do a one-shot blog post around time. So with that, this is where your friend Google can help. So if you just go Google not enough time in the day, because that is a common complaint. So that's where you want to think about complaints that people have and then see what Google shows up. So we have, why do I feel? How can I stop feeling like there's not enough time? How do I make enough time in a day? How can I manage my 24-hour day? So those top, what people are asking about is how you can come up with content ideas. So with that, you turn it into 3 quick tips to find more time in the day. Because as I'm looking at this, like this very first blog article that pops up, it's life hack 12 reasons why you feel like there's not enough time. You're giving them 12 reasons why. You're talking to people that feel like they don't have enough time to begin with. Are they going to want to read a long blog post? No. That's why if you make the title easy, it sounds easy to consume, then there's, it's more of a chance that they're going to want to read it. So with that, think about if you have clients saying there's not enough time in the day, this would be a great unaware topic, that belief of I don't have enough time, that you turn it into 3 quick tips for finding more time in the day, which is what we're going to do in the blog post. Find more time in the day. So tone of voice. You can put everything in here from witty, empowering. You can try Oprah. Actually had a gentleman on our group training that we did that we used we used Samuel L. Jackson, and he was a banker, which was pretty funny. And then the blog post was, why you want to pick up the phone when your banker calls. So Amy Porterfield tends to have, when I look at her writing style, I like how she writes. So I usually use like Amy, witty, empowering. Oprah, not so much expert. These are some of the things that I've tried. So with that, what Jasper is doing is Jasper's out searching the internet to see what type of content has been created. Now, one of the big questions that came up, do you have plagiarism issues? I have never run across that. These are very simple blog posts. If I was writing a third book, then yes, I would use a plagiarism checker to make sure that Jasper had not, used something that somebody else had created. But as of yet, I have never found that to be an issue. That was one of the last questions asked, by the way. So with this, you might even, like I can put in witty. Now, Jasper is not going to recognize me yet. So that's why just put in a general tone and then intended audience. So for me, my target audience is coaches and consultants. Then you have, if you think English, so depending on, because we've got folks in our Facebook group from all over the world. And what I'm going to do is actually generate 3. So it's 3:14 according to my timer here on my laptop. So let's see how long it takes for Jasper to come up with a blog post. Now, keep in mind, this is not a lengthy blog post. You're going to get typically anywhere from 500 to 800 words. Jasper's going to give me 3 options to choose from, and it's super easy to be able to take that information. So here we go. How to find more time in the day. What I do with this is I like 3 tips or 5 tips, or how to find more time in the day, 3 quick tips. There's also another thing that you can use. There's a free headline analyzer to actually up your SEO score. Don't want to get confused on that. So now that I have 3 options, then what I do is I read through these. And as I said, these are short and sweet. So you wake up feeling like you have a million things to do. You're so busy you can't find time to take a break. If it sounds familiar, you're in luck. Here are 3 quick tips to help you find more time in the day. Great introduction, because this gets into what they call the pain agitate solution. So you're speaking to the pain and the problem. You're agitating a little bit. And you're saying, by the way, I have something that I can help you with. I use that PAS statement for every blog post, for every live video that I do, for every workshop opening. I don't always use it for emails most of the time, but it's a great marketing format. It's been a marketing format for a very long time. So 3 quick tips. I can scan these. Wake up early, say no more often. That's good. And delegate and automate. That sounds like it's me because those are the things. Now, the waking up early, because I have a morning routine. So let's see if Jasper happens to mention a morning routine. So we have wake up earlier, set priorities, delegate, outsource, take breaks. Oh, here's 5. So if you wanted to expand it, instead of 3 ways to find more time, Jasper actually gave us 5. And then get up earlier, take a break, delegate, conclusion. So when I look at this, the cool thing that you can do right here is if you click on this piece and it's going to say open in Docs. So let's hope that Restream, which is what I'm using to record this, immediately pops over. So now I'm in a document within Jasper. All I had to do is click it and it saves. So with that, I'm going to delete out how to find more time in the day. I'm going to turn this into H1 because when you do that, then Jasper goes, that's a title, and it doesn't pay attention because as you're getting into the blog body and all of that, it can be a little confusing. So blog body, wake up early. I'm going to make these H2. Now, the other thing that you're going to see here too is when it's underlined in blue, I use Grammarly. If you don't use it, I highly suggest it. It plugs into every document, email, everything that you do. So even though Jasper has written this to optimize content and specifically for SEO readability engagement, then I also look at what Grammarly is telling me to do because sometimes it'll actually shorten it a little bit, not always, but sometimes it just I like the language, that style a little bit better. Feel like you and not enough time to do the okay, so this is a little bit shorter. All right. So the sounds here are 3 quick tips. So wake up early by getting up. Use that extra time. Say no more often. That is great. And that gets into priorities. And then delegate and automate. All right. Then you're going to get rid of conclusion. And with this, can seem impossible. It doesn't have to be by following these three simple tips. So go ahead and give it a try. Your future self will thank you for it. Now, when you're writing a blog, when you're putting a social media post out there, when you're going live on video, you always need to have some sort of call to action. So when I write blog posts, I think through all the lead magnets, the freebies that I have, and I've created, I don't know, probably 15 over the last several years of something that goes with this. So when I'm talking about time, then something that I might do is I have my new Drive planning system. It's my micro offer that is going to be rolling out like literally within the next week. So I could put a link to that when it's ready to go and say, if you're looking for ways to kick procrastination to the curb so you can set bolder goals, then check out my Drive planning system. That could be one call to action. Say that you are, you're a productivity coach. Guess what? Maybe you have a productivity planner, you've got your productivity checklist. If you're, let's flip over, if you're a wellness coach, then you could very easily use the same content because it speaks to a very broad audience. But then think about the freebie that you have, something that they can very simply download and have a few more quick tips. It shows value, it helps them to see you as an expert. Because if you just end it here, or if you just link to another blog post, which on my blogs, on my website, we're starting to do that to say, hey, check this one out and check this one out. I can also think back to the live videos that I do. So every Tuesday, I go live on YouTube and in Facebook and in LinkedIn. And then I take that content and repurpose and I have show notes. So I could even say, if you want to take a little bit more time and learn how to do, X, Y, and Z, then watch this video. So think about, and I'm just going to put call to action. So think about your call to action and what you're going to do at the end of this blog post. Now, the other thing I want to show you too. So that is your one shot. So if you, 3 quick tips, 3 quick, not 2 quick tips. 3 quick tips to help you find more time in the day. All right, so content description, just so you know what's over here, then This is a how to find more time when you don't, when you have a million things on your to-do list. So you have a life. All right, because Jarvis, see in there, I did it. So Jasper actually looks at what the title is, the content brief, tone of voice. Since I used Witty before, we're going to do that. And then keywords, how to find more time. Okay, so with this, now what's going to happen, I want to show you how to do this. So you can change your output length here. So waking up early, and then I want to prompt Jasper to fill this in with a little bit more content. Now you can see why I want to do a short training instead of the long training. So how you do that is I just start writing and I'm thinking, okay, it's like when you get up early. So when you early and have an easy set morning routine, it helps to get your brain and body flow to be. Now, notice I'm leaving that and I'm just hitting compose. And we're going to let Jasper take off. Now, what's happening is Jasper, just so you know what happened, he looked at the title and it says 3 quick tips. So he went ahead and started writing another tip. What I wanted him to do was help fill this in just a little bit more. So like here, I can see Grammarly is telling me to do this. By getting up just 30 minutes earlier than you normally would, you'd be surprised how much you accomplish. Okay, when you get up early and have an easy set morning routine, it helps to get your brain and body in flow. Make sure you have a plan for your day so you can take full advantage of this extra time that you've found. So to me, that's like, here's how you find the tip. Here's how you implement the tip. So as you're going through, especially if it's a how-to post, it's like, here's the info, but how do they actually implement it and put it into action? It's giving them that next action step. All right, so I am going to take priorities, and we might actually use this because say no more often speaks directly to priorities. So when you say yes, so if you, all right, let's see, easy to say yes, not always the best decision. Dun, dun, dun. Say no more often and prioritize what's important. So I am going to take that because he just gave me more information. So we're going to put this in here. And now that I look at this, so one of main is we try to do, dun, dun, dun. All right, so we're actually going to put that up here. So I said the first blog post you can easily do in just a few minutes. Instead of that, because okay, it's easy to say yes to everything, but it's not always the best. So you say no to something else. All right. Work goals, and notice how he left an and. So we're going to just hit compose. All right. Now he's going back into delegate and automate. I love how Jasper just takes off and runs. Isn't this amazing? I've had people go, oh my gosh, it's magic. It's not magic, it's AI, but it is so helpful. All right. So delegate, automate. So now we have multiple things that are delegate and automate. So I'm going to add that extra content. And then I'm going to look at these and go, one of the best ways to find, delegate, automate. So it looks like you'll be surprised at how much time. Okay. So this is actually duplicate. So this is saying, yeah. So you'll be surprised. So I'm actually delegating simple tasks. So we have delegate and automate first. So we're going to add that up here. Okay. All right. So actually, we don't need that to save time. All right. Actually, we're going to take this one. All right. And then we're going to get rid of this. Okay. So now down here, as I said, since this is about time, you don't want this to be completely overwhelming. So with that, now you've got a nice how to find, and it can be 3 tips, 3 quick tips to help you find more time in the day. All right. Now, the cool thing is, since we've done this, Jasper has taken this and it's over in my stored documents. So I don't have to worry about if I didn't get this downloaded off the platform, then it takes it and stores it for me. As you can see up here in the corner, 3-minute reading time, 5-minute speech time. That's another quick tip. If you are writing a blog post and you're sending out an email to your list, to your subscribers, one of the things that I like to do is take this. So we're going to get rid of the blog introduction because we don't need that there. But I would take this first paragraph and then I would have that in the email. And then I would say the rest of the article, 3-minute read in parentheses. So somebody knows before they ever click on a link how much time it's going to take them to actually read it. Because if you've ever opened up an email and you go, well, that article sounds interesting, and you click on it, and then it's like somebody wrote a novel, then you're going to click out and it's going to make it harder for somebody to want to say yes the next time when you send them a link, of something that you want them to take action on. So this is where, as I said, you've already got the words. That does not include the CTA. You want to make sure that you do that. But with this, now you've got it. You can put it into a Word document and upload it on your website. You can actually, that's the cool thing about this. So depending on how you are going to be using your content, I'm actually going to flip back here for a minute. So depending on how you're going to be using your content, then one of the content strategies that I take my folks through the incubator through, we have a monthly content session to literally plan out content for the entire month. And that is with or without the help of Jasper, but using Jasper, oh my God, lifesaver. Anyway, so this is where if you think about, so are you going live consistently? I know I tend to get a lot of pushback from people saying, I don't want to go live. It's like, stick a fork in my eye before I want to do that. Live video algorithms love live video. They tend to prioritize, social platforms prioritize content with live video more so than static posts. So if you're not using live video, I would highly, highly suggest that you start adding that to your list. Now, how you would go about doing this, then if you write one blog post, you take that one blog post. I already mentioned how you turn that into an email to your list. So you can take the first paragraph and say, hey, I wrote, give them that little heads up. You always add a PS into your email because, by the way, people are going to look at the subject line, they're going to skim it really quick, and then they always go to a PS, even if it's a really long email. So make sure you include a PS with your call to action. Then you've already turned a blog post into an email. Another thing that you can do is take that blog post and say you want to go live regularly. Like I've got my weekly live show. So what I do is I actually spend a little bit more time with my video scripts. There are things that I add in. And with that, then I basically take that blog post that becomes my script, my outline, and then I copy those same and it becomes the show notes for the video. Then if we go back and we look at the individual bullet points, that becomes content throughout the week. And it also can become real topics or TikTok topics. Or if you're doing LinkedIn native video, it can become topics for that. So you have one piece of content that you have now repurposed multiple ways by literally letting Jasper helping you to write a very simple blog post. So, okay, I want to make sure because I had some notes scribbled down, but part of that, it goes back to being consistent is so important that if you post, if you post one week and then you don't post for 3 more weeks, that doesn't cut it. Figure out the platform or platforms that you're going to be spending time on consistently. And then you think about your 4 topics. So, what is a main topic for each week? And then, how can you segment that copy down? As mentioned, when you have folks that they have beliefs, it's called, I've heard it called ladder of beliefs, tree of beliefs. It's like if they have this belief. So, the belief in the blog post that I wrote is there's not enough time in the day. Guess what? Here are 3 quick tips to help you find more time in the day. If you're a wellness coach, three quick tips to help you find more time in the day so you can reduce stress, or you can get your workout in so you sleep better. Or if you're a productivity coach, that's an easy one. You could literally, anybody could use that topic for that unaware content. Then, when you get a little bit more specific, like my next blog post, actually, I think it's going to be my next video that I'm going to do is how coaching can take your business to the next level. Because that's somebody, the belief that they have is, I'm so tired of DIYing it. That's the belief. Well, the actual title is how coaching can take your business to the next level. What was another one that I wrote down? Planning is hard to do. We've got the end of the year coming up, 2023. A lot of people hate to plan, they hate to goal set. So that's one of the reasons why my drive planning system is actually my micro course, because it's that first chunk out of the incubator. It's that first segment that we do. But for me, if I were to write that particular post, then the call to action becomes here's the drive planning system, or I could give them the weekly GPS as a freebie that they could download. So always think through, as I said, what's the topic that you're pondering? And then what belief or what's that pushback that somebody might go, I'm not sure. So how can you bust that, or you can overcome that objection? And then what is that strong call to action, or that good call to action that somebody's going to say, hey, I want to get to know more about you, possibly want to work with you. It's not a matter of here's a blog post, buy for me. That doesn't always work, not unless somebody has been seeing you show up consistently online. I have people that come into lives and then it's, after months, they're like, yes, but they've gotten to see that I can help them. So that's why I'm going to stress consistency with content is so important. So if you're concerned about putting yourself out there, then start somewhere. As I said, think through more of that unaware content. Even if you're in the process of building out your offers, then think through the frequently asked questions that people have, or think through the biggest things, these pain and frustration points that your clients have. Then what are those little tidbits that you can be sharing, that you can be dripping content on them, that they're going to go, this is fantastic, and they start to see that you can really help them solve their problem. So with that, I wanted to keep this under 30 minutes. I am at 28. I hope you will go play with Jasper. It is, like I said, my favorite tool. It saves me time every single week because I can take one piece of content, let Jasper do the heavy lifting, and then I can repurpose that lots of different ways. So with that, I am dropping the link in the comments to the video. So that way you can have 10,000 words for free. And when you write your first blog post, or when you put social media content, when you get in the background of Jasper and you can see all the templates that they have. In fact, they just created one for a LinkedIn post, doing the same thing that we did with a blog, shorter. But whether it's a reel or story, or it's a blog post, or well, if it's a blog post, it's going to be harder. If you share it on social, make sure that you tag me. I'm at Joyce Layman on all the platforms except Twitter, but tag me. That way I can go out and show your content some love, because my whole goal is to help make it easier for you as you are building your business online. So can't wait to see what you create.